Hey, I'm Andy Aledort, and I'm here at the Dario Strings today. Happy to be here with my buddies. I am a proud endorsee of the Dario Strings. Been using them for quite a long time now. I use EXL 110s, 10 through 46, which I use on my Les Paul and also use on my Stratocaster. And they're fantastic strings. I use the acoustic strings too on acoustic guitar, 12s and 13s. And a couple of things I've been doing lately. For the last 5 years, I play with Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers in his band, Dickie Betts and Great Southern. And in that band, I play a lot of slide guitar, all in standard tuning. And then I also, every once in a while, do these Jimi Hendrix tribute tours, which I do with, had been doing with Jimi Hendrix's drummer, Mitch Mitchell, who sadly passed away this past October. But we did a bunch of tours. Played in Japan with him a few times, and with Billy Cox, the bass player from Band of Gypsies in Woodstock, guy played with Hendrix for a long time. And on those Hendrix tours, we've really had a lot of fun playing with guys like Robbie Krieger from The Doors and Mick Taylor from The Stones and Carlos Santana, Paul Rogers, all kinds of different people. And then I have my own band here in New York, Andy Aledort and the Groove Kings, and we have a new studio record we're working on. We're working on a live record also. And if that wasn't enough, which clearly it isn't, I also am one of the editors for Guitar World, and for Guitar World I do a lot of instructional DVDs. I have a brand new DVD out now called Blues Rock Guitar Masters, covering the guitar styles of Duane Allman and Dickie Betts and Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Leslie West, Robin Trower. And then I have a slide DVD coming out shortly, Ultimate Guide to Slide Guitar. And on top of that, I've done a whole variety of Jimi Hendrix-based instructional DVDs. I have one on how to play the songs I've already experienced, also Axis Bold as Love, and then we just put out the triple disc, 8-hour long, how to play all the songs of Electric Ladyland. And I live to tell about it. I got into playing guitar the same way a lot of old codgers like me did, from seeing the Beatles play on Ed Sullivan. You know, as soon as I saw that, me and all my buddies were like, that's what we want to do, you know, play in a band. Started playing guitar, started with some folk songs, and, you know, graduated to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And I had a guitar teacher. I was living in Queens at the time, but he was just over the city line in Great Neck. A legendary Long Island guitar teacher named Joe Monk, who, you know, he's the 1 degree of separation between thousands of guitar players. And took lessons from him when I was 11 and then went back when I was 15. And he was like jazz, chord melody, Joe Pass, you know. And just a great guy to get started with. And then Jimi Hendrix came along, and that was sort of it, you know. As soon as I heard that, I really got into playing guitar and into trying to learn how to play his stuff. And so, you know, when I was a teenager, formed a band, 3-piece band, and basically we were just Hendrix fanatics. We played every Hendrix song. We played like 30 Hendrix songs that people didn't even know were Hendrix songs, you know. And along with some Cream and Mountain, I was a big Leslie West fan, and Frank Zappa too. And then another really important thing was in the early 70s, John McLaughlin came out with Mahavishnu Orchestra, the first 2 Mahavishnu Orchestra records, and that stuff was really, really amazing and inspiring. And, you know, so I think for a lot of guys that were really, you know, I was an early teenager in the early 70s, that was like the, you know, McLaughlin and Dimiola, you know, they sort of threw down the gauntlet. Like if you're if you want to play guitar, you had a lot of work to do, and but at the same time, it was real inspiring. So, in regard to young guys coming up playing, it's funny because, like my son, he's almost 17, and I had a student yesterday who was 19. It's very funny. It's sort of a rite of passage for so many musicians when they're in their teens, especially guitar players. Seems to be that they recognize immediately and absolutely that the guys from the 60s and the early 70s were the guys to pay attention to. Even if they are also fans of more current music, be it Dave Matthews, everything from Dave Matthews to Metallica or John Mayer or something like that. It's an undeniable thing that if you really want to learn about playing, you have to listen to Jimi Hendrix. You have to listen, you should listen to Led Zeppelin. You should listen to Cream. You know, you should listen to the Allman Brothers. You should listen to Free. You know, that there was something going on back then in terms of the music really being creative and having a lot of spirit in it. And, you know, that's, you can still hear it, you know, not just guys that grew up with it, you know, kids who are discovering it for the first time along with everything that's on Z100 or, you know, whatever, you know. The neat thing is they don't make the distinction like, oh, I don't like that because, you know, my generation is about grunge or something like that, you know. It seems like now that they see it all together, you know. A kid might like Nirvana and like Hendrix and like Metallica and like Led Zeppelin, and to them it's irrelevant that they're from different eras. It's just music, you know. So what I would say is, you know, if you're serious about playing, the first thing is dedicate yourself to the music that you like the most, you know, that you feel the strongest connection to, whatever that is. As long as it keeps you playing and, you know, you can have some goals that you can reach, meaning you hear a song and you say, God, I really want to learn that song, you know, that, you know, I just love that song. And then when you get that down, you know, you're on the right path. So, you know, stick with the music that turns you on the most, and but at the same time, you know, try to have open ears to listen to everything.